Hi everyone, welcome to the SA Sports Show. A big show coming up here. And joining me on the panel here today, Greg Anderson, former Magarey medalist. Not a former Magarey medalist, he was a Magarey medalist.
I was a Magarey medalist.
Still a Magarey medalist.
Still am. Still am. Yeah, don't give it up.
Port Adelaide, and Essendon star. How are you, mate?
I'm going very well. I love getting the call up.
Well, it's nice to have you in. But we must mention Phil Smythe.
Yeah.
Now, Phil's not here,
No.
as we know, because you're here with me, but we got to give him a rap. I know we give him a bit of a slap every now and then when he's not here.
Of course
but
we
he's
do.
done some amazing things. He was a great coach with the Sixers, we know that.
Back-to-back premiers in the late 90s.
And
fantastic.
He's been dabbling in the footy quite a bit in the last few years, and he's up there in the coach's box with Fagan now at Brisbane.
Yep.
And of course they're in the...
Well, he's a coach's mentor.
That's right.
And, you know, when you go back many years, he was, I think his first club was the Eagles, and he was on the selection panel there and sort of mentoring the coaches there, and they were very successful. Then I think he went to North Adelaide. He spent a bit of time at Nord as well, and both those clubs also won flags or grand finals while he was there. Richmond, of course, he was doing some mentoring there as a coach, and now with Brisbane for the last few years. So everything he seems to touch turns to gold.
Well, you know, it's funny because people say, you know, I get it on social media a bit. Is that Phil Smythe sitting in the coach's box with, you know, with Fagan? I thought he was a portman, or regardless whether he's a portman or not. That's his role, and that's what he does. And I'm glad you mentioned that he's a mentor of the coaches.
Of the coaches,
you know,
and sometimes a selected playing group as well.
Yeah.
So, and he's very invested. Like you know, when he was at the Eagles, he was really invested. You know, North Adelaide the same. I went down many times. I think it was that Warren who was coaching Nord. He was always having cups of coffee with when he was. I think it's Ben Warren was coaching Nord, and Phil was sort of helping him as a mentor, and of course at Richmond and Brisbane as well. So there's something special about him.
There is, isn't there? I mean, he's done extremely well. I know, every time, just about every week he's saying, no, Faze wants me up there this week. He wants me there Tuesday. He wants me there.
And chuck in 5 Olympics as well or something. Or 4 or 5
just about to say.
4 or 5 Olympics.
I was just about to say it. 5-time Olympian.
The 5-time Olympian. So the sport's in his blood. Coaching wise, you come out of a great career like he did with his basketball as a player.
Fantastic.
You're not necessarily going to be a great coach.
Yeah.
But he proved that,
he could do it.
He could do it back-to-back premiers for the 36ers, and then jumped into football, which is was a whole new dynamics. But I suppose coaching and mentoring is. He's still working with humans.
Absolutely,
and he just does a wonderful job.
Well, he's done a terrific job, mate. I mean, they're in the final now, and he texted me last night and he said that I'm going to be, mate. I'm in Melbourne and with Brisbane. So good luck to him.
Yeah.
He's done well. Okay, that's enough of Phil Smythe.
I was going to say that was 2 minutes over. That one was.
If he sees that, if he sees this show, he's going to be unbearable.
Great last weekend of SANFL football.
Yeah,
wow.
Congratulations to Tigers.
Yeah, Tigers played very well. I went and watched 38,000 people watched it. It was a fantastic day, but the atmosphere was brilliant. Sturt kicked themselves out of the game. They, I've never seen so many shots missed from in front, 35 out. They just couldn't take their opportunities. And Glenelg were, they took every opportunity. Young Hosey, 6 goals.
Good player, him.
Fantastic. That Matty Snoot and Max Proud were fantastic for Glenelg.
I noticed with Sturt that a lot of those shots that they missed, they took a long time to kick the ball. I mean, I don't know whether anyone else noticed that.
No, there was 2 or 3 times, Baz, that they actually started booing the player the Sturt player having a shot for goal.
Right?
So it's interesting you say that. And maybe they just had the yips and thought that might be the best way to settle themselves. And then you've got the crowd going at you as well. But they missed a lot of easy shots. Not only the score where I think they kicked 1 goal, 6 or 7 in the last quarter. They kicked a couple out in the full as well.
Exactly right.
But it was it was a really good game of football, really high pressure.
Yeah.
I know, we spoke about the umpire in the SANFL.
Yeah.
They just let it go.
They do let it go.
They just let it go, and you see big bodies just crunching in, and the crowd gets involved because there's a few, they'll pushing and shoving.
Yeah.
It was really good, and the SANFL, take my hat off.
Well, they got a couple of traditional sides in the grand final.
Yeah.
Good on them.
But the whole
they would have loved
spectacle before and
Yeah.
after was outstanding. So if to Darren Chandler and his team, just a great job.
The only thing that I will bring up is well done to the Tigers. It's a great win. Probably the best team all year. And,
They were.
And good on them. It's a great flag, and I think that's their 6th flag now. But I just heard last night or during the week, I heard them talking, not necessarily coming from their camp, but coming from outside the camp, that they're about to build a dynasty.
Okay.
Now, you've got to be very careful when you say that. The last team that said that was the Eagles in 1993.
Yep.
And we know how that ended.
Yeah.
So let's not start talking dynasty. I mean, they're a good side, great club.
It is very
come
hard
back
to
from the
do
brink
that.
too.
Yeah, it's very, very hard to do that.
Of course
because
it is.
I remember West Adelaide won that flag under Mark Micken.
Yep.
And I reckon they lost 4 of that particular team that went in the draft.
Yeah.
Exactly. or got taken as matured AFL players.
And
so
that's the end.
all of a sudden, look at 1/6 of your team has gone over into state or locally in the AFL system, and that's a big hole.
Yep.
So it is hard to say that because I must admit when I watched Glenelg and Sturt. I know the recruits there, and they were looking at a couple of the Glenelg players and a couple of the Sturt players. So hard to say that in the SNFL, but they got some great depth.
Good on them.
Well, both clubs have actually, because they both played in the A grade and the B grades, with Glenelg winning both of those.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, which you might not have known, but Sturt also lost the under 18s by 2 points to South Adelaide, and lost the under 16s to Centrals by 10 or 20 points. So they were in 4 grand finals for no trophies.
So pretty grim night back at
would have been a grim night.
Hunley.
Yeah, it would have been a grim night. That's
But good on
for
them
sure.
getting there. They played some good footy to get there.
It just shows the depth.
Of course they do.
And look,
They'll be back.
I watched a little bit of the under 18s this year. A friend of mine's son plays for the Eagles. The standard is outstanding.
Yeah,
it really is outstanding.
Exactly.
I mean, SA football is just alive and well. It really is. So fantastic.
There's plenty more to come on our sports show today, Ando. Plenty more to talk about. Got some great guests coming in as well. Stick with us. A lot more to come.